What's that word, man? It's the kid, man. I'm back, man. I had to go make a little trip back to the Biddy, but I'm here. Back in H-Town where it go down, feeling good, feeling lovely. You know, and they got work and shit. I'm trying to get y'all reaction to too before I go back in. I'm trying to get back consistent. It's been a little bit of a struggle, but you know, hey, it is what it is. Like, you know, I'm trying to get my page back to where it used to be, man. Y'all used to come check the boy out, man. I need y'all to come tap in with me. Um, I'm on right now. I'm on these cave exploration videos, man. I've been reacting to these cave exploration videos. I'm gonna tell you like this. I feel like we all randomly got put into the alternate universe where we watch this and we don't watch this. And I see everybody in the comments be saying shit like, man, I'm happy I'm at home under my blanket. Oh, how did I end up here? I was wondering the same thing. So I said, you know what? Let me go and react to this content and see if there's something I could do there in this realm. Ain't nobody reacting to cave exploration videos. I ain't seen it. Y'all tell me. Anyway, like, share, comment, subscribe. Go check out On the Verge if y'all ain't already. I fuck with them tough, man. The fact that I didn't like this video and I can't see that I liked or watched it means that I haven't watched it, so we gonna get into it.
Three terrifying caving stories, each more harrowing than the last. The first story in particular will send chills down your spine. The caver was warned by many about the lurking dangers ahead, but despite that, he still went on. 30th September 2016, Luke Nelson had always been the kind of person who craved adventure. Having explored countless caves before, he wasn't one to shy away from the riskier side of things. On the morning of his last trip, he was particularly excited. He had set his sights on a cave nestled deep in the Texas wilderness. The cave had a reputation
Texas.
for being tricky to navigate, but that's what Luke loved about it. He packed his gear, double-checked his map, and told his sister that he was heading out for what he called a quick cave dive. What he didn't tell her was that he planned to go alone.
Stupid.
The cave, known by locals as Silent Descent, was a complex system of tunnels, many of which had never been fully mapped. Sections of the cave were blocked by rock falls or rising water, making it dangerous for even experienced cavers. One area in particular had gained a reputation for...
I know y'all probably like, what the hell that boy doing, man? I had to check on my drink, man, because I was about to set up this. I'm thinking about, because this is my little office. This is my little studio office, podcast area. I'm trying to get it built up. Been for a couple months. I ain't did nothing yet. But today, after I do some of these reactions, I think I'm going to get it right. But I was sitting there looking at my studio phone, and I'm like trying to plot where I'm going to put it. And it's a mother effing gecko in my stuff, man. I'm from the Midwest, bro. I ain't used to that. I didn't know what to do. Like, I freaked out because I thought it was some kind of foreign insect. And I looked at my, it's a baby lizard. Well, I'm not going to kill you. Let me let you outside, you know.
for inevitable dangers, an unmapped section referred to as the Deadman's Tunnel. Luke knew about this section, but curiosity, as always, got the best of him. The entrance to the cave was about a 2-hour hike from the nearest road, located within the rugged Texas countryside. Luke had trekked the path before, as he...
Buddy woke up today and said, you know what? I'm finna jog 2 hours to get to an isolated cavern to go in and get myself stuck. Ooh, that sounds good today. Let me pack me a peanut butter. You know what? I don't need a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. I'm going here raw, dog.
neared the cave's mouth, he took a deep breath and entered,
Cave got a mouth.
feeling
H
the
O
familiar
motherfucking
rush
mouth.
of adrenaline. Earlier that morning, Luke had called his friend, hoping to convince him to join. His friend, however, had a prior commitment and warned Luke about the dangers of caving alone. But Luke brushed off the concern. Now, as Luke made his way deeper into the cave, those words circled back in his mind. After hours of navigating through narrow passages and slippery rock formations, Luke reached the junction that wasn't on his map. A new, unexplored route branched off to the left, while the main path veered to the right. He hesitated, his instincts urging caution, but the obsession of knowing the unknown was too strong. He
Ain't no obsession strong enough to tell me to go into some cave that I can't look and know. You gotta have a map. It's like GTA or something. Like, you don't even know the coordinates, my guy. You just in this cave just doing what you doing. Like, what is going on with you? Yeah, dog, it branches out, but I got this urge.
veered left, convinced that this new route might hold the thrill he was after. The passage was tight, much narrower than he anticipated, and as he squeezed through, the walls began to close in around him.
Bro, you could have smoked some dope. That would I don't know if it's that thrilling, but it sounds thrillinger than this.
The ceiling lowered, forcing him to crouch, and soon he was crawling on his stomach, inching forward in the tight space. Several feet in, Luke realized his mistake. The atmosphere was dusty, showing signs of how no one had been there before. He tried to back up, but the walls pressed against his body, locking him in place. His chest felt stiff as he realized he was stuck. He had taken the wrong route, a path too narrow for a full-grown man. Panic surged through him as he squirmed, trying to free himself, but the rock seemed to tighten its grip. He convinced himself to stay calm, but with every attempt to move, the rock pressed harder against him. The narrow passage left him little room to expand his chest fully. The air felt stale, almost suffocating. Fear gripped him. All he could think about that time was his daughter and the advice of his friend. He shouted for help, though he knew he was alone. There was no one to hear him, no one to rescue him. Hours later, when Luke hadn't returned, his sister began to worry. She called Luke's friend, who was immediately alarmed when he learned that Luke had ventured into the cave alone. They wasted no time. He alerted local authorities, and soon a rescue team was mobilized. When the rescuers arrived, they could see signs that someone had recently entered the cave. Footprints leading to the mouth, a freshly disturbed patch of dirt near the entrance. They quickly set up a command post and began searching the mapped sections of the cave. Hours passed with no sign of Luke. The mapped areas were clear, and the team started to fear the worst. Then, a sharp-eyed rescuer spotted something out of place. A small carabiner, likely dropped by Luke, lay near the entrance to the unmapped section of the cave, the infamous Deadman's tunnel. The find sent a chill through the team. It was clear Luke had veered off the planned route and taken the dangerous path. The rescue crew knew that exploring this uncharted area was risky, but they also knew it was their only chance of finding Luke. One of the rescuers, small enough to fit through the tight, claustrophobic passage, volunteered to go in. With a rope securely tied around him, the team carefully lowered him into the narrow tunnel. The passage twisted and turned, tightening in places where even the most experienced cavers would feel trapped. Then, in the dim light, he saw it. Luke wedged deep in the passage but alive. His helmet had been knocked off, and his arms were pinned awkwardly beneath him, as if he had fought to free himself but eventually on the brink of death. Luke was overjoyed when he heard the rescuer. Although exhausted, this gave him the will to fight more. The rescuer signaled to the team and immediately got into action. First, they were concerned about his body temperature, so they fired up and used a portable stove to produce heat while they planned the rescue. The plan was to widen up the gap, set up a pulley system, and pull him out. With extreme care, they spent hours chiseling away rock, careful not to cause a collapse. Once the gap was wide enough, they set up a pulley system. A rescuer was lowered in, securing a rope around Luke's body. Slowly, the team worked together, pulling him through the tight space. After a tense and exhausting effort, they finally brought Luke out. After being treated and stabilized, Luke was overwhelmed with gratitude. Lying in the hospital bed, he told that all he could think about was his daughter. With a newfound clarity, Luke promised himself he would never take such a reckless risk again. He was given a second chance, and for that, he was truly thankful. This next story is even more painful to watch than the
Hey man, shout out to what was his name, Luke. Good man. Hey, you lucky you survived, bro. It could have been real hairy, like the snail named Gary. You feel what I'm talking about? Like it could have been crazy. You could have died, bro. Like, look, let this be a lesson to everybody. Like, if you gonna decide to go into a cave system, let everybody know you gonna, hey, y'all, I know black people don't usually do this, but I'm finna go into this cave system, man. Tell my Aunt Cindy that if I ain't back in 5 hours to alert the Coast Guard. Like, what is niggas doing? Come on, bro. Like, I'm gonna keep it rolling, but, like, just understand me. Like, this ain't normal activity. Like, if I gotta do scuba gear and it look like that, look at Buddy. He's stiffed in the joint. Like, Buddy's sniffing in the mud. What they call them? An ironing board, dog. He done for it.
Previous one. On April 30th, 2007,
He ain't making
in the remote reaches of Deadman's Cave, Texas, a tragic accident unfolded.
Another one?
Thomas Summers III, a 44-year-old manager and partner of the nearby tourist Cave Without a Name, set out with his friend Brent Holbrook on what was meant to be a routine troubleshooting mission. Recent rains had raised the water levels in Deadman's Cave.
When recent rains happen, do not go to a cave. When you go to the cave, make sure it's about to be sunny and screwed up for a whole month before you even decide you want to go take your black behind, white, Asian, Mexican, whatever behind you got, into a damn cave system. We ain't cavemen no more. I understand the allure of wanting to go and do something pure and something that's untainted and touched by the human nature. But keep yourself alive by
which
1999.
sits on Summer's property, blocking access to areas where advanced cavers often explored. Their goal was to identify and clear any blockages that might be hindering the cave's outflow. By 2 p.m., the two men had ventured about 300 feet into the cave. The passage narrowed, and the ceiling lowered to just a few inches of airspace. With no helmets to protect them, the situation grew increasingly perilous. Thomas, determined to press on, swam ahead while Brent hesitated, realizing the risk was too high to continue. As Thomas swam further into Deadman's cave, the passage grew tighter and the ceiling dropped, leaving just a few inches of airspace between the cold water and the rough stone above. The water, fed by recent rains, was slowly rising, and the air pocket he relied on grew dangerously narrow. With every stroke, he pressed forward, keeping his head as close to the surface as possible, desperately trying to find the precious few inches of air left in the cramped tunnel. At first, he breathed carefully, ensuring his face stayed above the waterline, but as he moved deeper, the air began to feel stale, thick. The cave's atmosphere, already starved of fresh oxygen, started to fill with carbon dioxide from his own exhalations. Each breath he took brought in less oxygen and more of the suffocating gas. His chest grew tighter, his breaths shorter, and panic began to claw at him as he realized that the air pocket wasn't replenishing fast enough. He felt lightheaded, dizzy, as if the cave itself was spinning around him. The stale, oxygen-starved air filled his lungs, but it wasn't enough. Disoriented and gasping, Thomas's energy drained as the water lapped at his chin. His body gave out before he could make it back, and in the dark, cold waters of Deadman's cave, he slipped beneath the surface, unable to fight the pull of the water any longer. Brent swam a few feet behind Thomas, his heart pounding as the passage grew tighter. He called out, but only heard the sputtering of Thomas's breath echoing through the cave. The air felt heavy, and something didn't seem right. Then, there was only silence. No response, no movement. Panic surged as Brent shouted again, but the stillness of the cave swallowed his voice. Realizing something had gone terribly wrong, he knew he had to turn back for help. Within hours, a massive rescue operation.
Hey, these niggas be cold-blooded when they be leaving their partner, dog. Hey, if I go cave exploring with any of y'all, man, like, I'm up one day. You know, we done got me to 1 million followers, and I'm like, who want to go to a cave with me? If we go to a cave, don't leave me, nigga. Y'all niggas leave me, I'm haunting you. Like, come on, dog. They left that man in there. He left him in there for hours like he did, bro. He barely was pulling along when you left him. I'm at least pulling Cuz to like some kind of safety, bro. I wouldn't even let Cuz get that far. By the time we start drifting and we realizing things, the first realization, let this be a lesson. The first realization, do something about it.
Was underway. More than 90 rescuers gathered at the entrance of Deadman's cave, determined to find Thomas. Local fire and rescue teams arrived first, followed by specialized cave divers and volunteers from nearby areas. The atmosphere was tense as crews worked tirelessly to lower the water level using powerful pumps, hoping to clear the flooded passage before it was too late. Hours dragged on. The rescue teams knew they were in a race against time. By nightfall, the water levels had dropped just enough for cave divers Jean Kraka and Linda Pallett to enter the flooded tunnel. They carefully navigated the narrow, suffocating passage, where even a slight mistake could prove fatal. Armed with only minimal equipment, the divers had to rely on their training and instincts as they searched the dark waters for any sign of Thomas. After hours of painstaking work, Jean and Linda finally located his body, submerged in the tight air pocket where he had struggled. The realization was devastating. Thomas had perished just feet from safety. Despite their efforts, it was clear that he had drowned in the frigid, oxygen-deprived passage. By 9 p.m., the rescuers emerged from the cave, carrying Thomas's lifeless form. The weight of the loss hung heavily over the team as they quietly exited the cave, knowing that even their best efforts couldn't change the tragic outcome. The cause of death was determined to be drowning, but their
My nigga, I ain't gonna lie. If they'd have been like, if dude would have came and got us to like save Buddy, and he'd have been like, yeah, dog, I was in there and I couldn't breathe. Dude dead. Who's surviving hours without being able to breathe? Dude is dead. Dead as a doorknob, bro. We bringing back a stiff body, nigga. Bring out the bed sheets. What are you talking about? Buddy is stiff. Bring out the bed sheets. Put Buddy on a gurney. Like,
there have been more to the tragedy.
stop it.
The low airspace in the cave, combined with bad air, disoriented Thomas as he swam deeper into the narrowing passage. Brent later shared that Thomas's labored breathing, followed by sputtering, was the last sound he heard.
Duh, that
No
was it.
splashing, no struggle. Some speculate that Thomas pushed too far into the tight airspace,
There's no speculation. That's what happened. Why you
running
speculating?
out of room to breathe before he even realized the danger. This last one is even more gut-wrenching. It's so intense that you might find it hard to watch.
Three friends were excited about exploring a cave, something they had been looking forward to all summer.
On the verge. Why your voice changed? You hired some other nigga? You hired an AI or something? What's going on with this voice change, man?
They expected a fun and mysterious adventure, but what happened was something they could never forget. William Coughlin, 27, was an environmentalist and loved camping. He spent most of his time outdoors with his friends. William and his friends, James and Kevin, decided to explore a cave in Kentucky called Buzzard Roost Cave, which seemed very exciting in the brochure.
Yeah.
On May 28, 1993, during Memorial Day weekend, William, James, and Kevin traveled from Illinois to Cave City, Kentucky. The group, led by a guide named Dave Harden, started the Wild Cave Tour. Each person got 2 flashlights, and
For all that, Cub could have stayed in the Midwest. Somebody broke something.
the guide emphasized that everyone needed to stay close together. As they ventured deeper, the cave's challenges became apparent. After squeezing through a narrow passage, the group encountered the first of 4 ladders, a 30-foot cable ladder with wooden rungs. The guide led the way, and they carefully descended, then crawled a short distance to reach the second ladder. This 20-foot cable ladder proved more daunting, as it required navigating between 2 tight rock walls. William, at 6 feet tall and over 200 pounds, struggled to fit through the narrow tunnels, getting stuck at times. The guide expertly assisted each member of the group down the second ladder, preventing any
Right then, I'm done. If I'm too big at 6 feet tall, which you a tall ass, big ass nigga, why you even in the fucking cave? At the point that I'm 6 feet tall, bro, I'm 5'9", 5'10". 5'11" on the good day. I ain't even gonna say that because my son 5'11". If I was to be up in a cave, I'm not gonna be up in the cave. I ain't even gonna be in the cave. But at that point, when you about 6 feet tall, why is you in the cave? It's a cave. Why is you in the cave? You 6 feet tall, struggling. I'm gonna be like, hey, I'm finna turn out. Or I'm gonna stay here.
disorientation. Next, they crawled through another tight passage, descending slightly to reach the third ladder, a 25-foot aluminum one securely attached to a rock wall. This one posed no issues. After 45 minutes of navigating the winding passages, they finally arrived at the fourth and final ladder, a 10-foot aluminium one also secured against a rock wall. While taking pictures on the fourth ladder, William stepped onto an unstable ledge that broke, causing him to fall about 50 feet. He hit his head and was knocked unconscious. Panic set in as the cave guide frantically radioed for help, urgently requesting assistance for the severely injured William. The group anxiously awaited rescue, their hearts racing with every passing moment. William regained consciousness, but he was disoriented, in excruciating pain, and bleeding profusely from a severe head injury. With limited resources and the cave's remote location, the situation was dire. As they waited for what felt like an eternity, the group tried to comfort William, while the guide attempted to provide basic first aid.
Don't comfort me, nigga. You wanna comfort me, give me a fucking blunt. If it's a bitch with us, throw some of that cat. I'm sorry to say, I'm about to die. Throw me some coochie. Do something. Suck me off. Shit, I'm finna die. I need to, bro, what? Throw me some cat. Don't be comforting me. What you gonna comfort me with?
But it was clear that William needed immediate medical attention, and the cave's depth made it challenging for rescuers to reach them quickly. The group huddled around William, offering words of comfort, their voices echoing off the cave walls, emphasizing the isolation and urgency of the situation. The guide repeatedly assured them that help was on the way, but tension filled the air as William's condition worsened. As time ticked away, James and the guide knew they had to act fast. William's condition made it impossible for him to climb the ladders to the entrance, so they opted for a risky alternative route. While James wanted to call for the rescue teams, the guide seemed hesitant. He convinced James that they were running out of time, and they had to go for the alternative route. This path was rarely taken due to its treacherous narrow sections, twists, and sharp rock formations, making it a challenge even for someone unharmed. Given William's injuries, the danger was amplified, but they had no other choice as every minute counted.
Oh, it ain't no female. It ain't no female, yeah. Don't come for me. Just leave me here. How you gonna pull me out the cat? Look, when a person get a back injury or something, you're not supposed to move that nigga. Y'all said, fuck it, we gonna take this man up this jagged rock. Bro, he just fell 50 feet. How far y'all gotta go?
William was losing blood rapidly,
and
according to the guide, waiting for rescue could be fatal. Miraculously, they managed to navigate William through the initial hurdle of the narrow passage. Next, they faced the treacherous V-shaped rock formations. James navigated through first, using the belly crawl maneuver, then assisted William, who entered head first. William's fear and pain intensified as he struggled to make progress. Gravity seemed to be working against him, and the pain became unbearable. His arms were pinned beneath him, and the sharp rock edge dug into his stomach. He was stuck, unable to move. James and the guide were horrified, witnessing William's desperate plight for the second time. They knew things would only worsen if they didn't act fast. William begged for help, his voice laced with agony. Despite their efforts to free him, William became increasingly wedged, his lungs and diaphragm compressing against the rocky walls. Each breath was a struggle, and he began to lose his grip on sanity, his labored breathing reduced to short, shallow gasps. The guide instructed James to inform the cave owner about the dire situation. It became apparent that the guide and owner were reluctant to draw attention to William's predicament, and the guide had initially hesitated to call for rescue teams, despite the urgency. James had had enough, and insisted on calling for help. Finally, after an agonizing wait, the rescue team's approach could be heard in the distance. The guide updated them on William's condition and the cave layout, and the rescuers skillfully navigated the treacherous terrain, reaching William and assessing his critical condition. They carefully secured him on a stretcher and began the arduous journey out of the cave, avoiding further harm. As they emerged into the bright sunlight, the medical team took over, rushing William to the hospital. Tragically, William succumbed to his injuries the next day, his exciting adventure turning into a desperate fight for survival. He spent 7 harrowing hours trapped 50 feet underground.
Just a pass, cuz. He went through all that shit just to die. You read the comment. Y'all can read. Got a whole family but want to go through Deadman's cave. Like, come on, gang. What's going on? Like, share, comment, subscribe, man. Tap in. Y'all know what's going on, man. It's the kid that did and it's going to do it again. We trying to win, man. Road to 1,000, man. I'm going slow, but I'm still going some more, man. I know y'all fuck with me. Like, share, comment, subscribe, tap in, man. We on this new shit, man. This shit actually exciting, man. If y'all got any exciting videos or anything y'all think I should react to, please go ahead and drop it in the comment thread. I will react to it. I will check it out. If it's your partner's music, video, whatever. We checking out all that, man. Just send me something, man. Let me know in the comments what y'all want me to react to, man. That was a good little reaction. I'm going to do one more before I get started what I had to do, but I'm out. I love y'all, man. Tap in. I know what's going on. We gone, man.